Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Brajaja Naranjana. Yashodanandana Brajaja Naranjana. Yamunatiravanachari. Yamunatiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Brajaja Naranjana. Yashodanandana Brajaja Naranjana. Yamunatiravanachari. Yamunatiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jam Vishnupad Pranam Supravarjigacharya Stutara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Abhay Chandraminda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namachara Shahardas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanande Hari Bol. All glorious assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glorious assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glorious assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glorious to Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pashtaputadi Shrimati Radhanath Swami Vishnupadaya Krishna Pashtaputadi Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya We're reading from Srimad-Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized, text 48. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoh samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha kuru karmani Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoh samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha kuru karmani Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoh samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha kuru karmani Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoh samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha kuru karmani Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoh samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha kuru karmani sakyam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoh samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogastha equipoised, kuru perform, karmani your duties, sangam attachment, tyaktva giving up, dhananjaya O Arjuna, siddhi asiddhiyoh in success and failure, samaha equipoised, bhutva becoming, samatvam equanimity, yoga yoga, uchyate is called. The translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Purport. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna, or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjuna is a kshatriya, and such as he is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashram Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. The translation of the verse again. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment and to success or failure. Such Om Ajnanatirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyahivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we continue our discussion on second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And this particular verse Krishna is stating a definition of yoga. Samatvam yoga uchate. It is said that yoga is samatvam, that you're equipoised and connected with Krishna, of course. In Bhagavad Gita, there are many statements about the yoga, and the verbal form of yoga is huge, and we can see yujyate is also very often used in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is the book about yoga, actually. And yoga, as explained by Srila Prabhupada, true yoga is to connect. Yoga has the same root as English word yoke. Do you know what is yoke? Yoke is a device to bind oxen to pull the cart. How do you call it in German? Yoke. Yoke. This is the same word, and this is yoga, the same. That means binding, actually. Yes. So yoga is to follow instructions of the Lord, not to be your own Lord, to decide what is right and what is not right, but to surrender to Krishna. In 6th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam is explained, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, na vevi durisho na pritavaha, na siddha mukya sarana mushyaha, kutonam vidyadara sharanadaya. That only Lord knows what is Dharma and what's not Dharma. Not even great demigods and Gandharvas and sages, they don't know what is Dharma or what is yoga. Only the Lord and Mahajans. Mahajana yena gatapa sapanta is therefore explained that we should follow the path of great saints. And we will mention now, because we are speaking on aparadas, we'll mention something very important connecting to this point. We discussed jiva aparadas. And we should know that devotee, Vaishnavas, are paradukha dukhi. That means that they suffer if they see others suffering. And they are jivadaya, merciful to the living entities. And one of the ideas of Shastra is Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. What does it mean? Let everyone be happy. Let everyone be happy. So this is our goal. And we know from the 5th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam, Lord Rishabhadeva explains, Gurur nasasyat svajano nasasyat, pita nasasyat, janini nasasyat, devam natatsyam napatishya sasyam namocheti aksamopitimityam. That one should not become a father, a mother, or guru, or a husband, or a deity, a relative even, if we are not able to deliver those who are dependent on us. So we can see how important is this mercy towards other suffering living entity. And if we don't help them to be relieved of this suffering, it's an offense, actually. I think it's punishable by the law. If you see someone injured on the street or somewhere and you don't help him, it's punishable by the law. It's the same by universal law. So we can see that everyone is suffering in this material world. So it's violence against them if we don't give them this knowledge. We have received it. And so our duty is to spread it for the benefit of other living entities. Yes. Of course, if someone is inimical or envious, we also serve them by strictly avoiding them. Yes. This is the way to serve the envious living entities. With excessive envy. Because every living entity actually is envious in this material world. Yes, so this is important to understand. And since we already mentioned that we are also servants of the servants, and here Prabhupada also states this, that we are servant of the servant of the servant, of most beloved servant of Lord Krishna, who is Srimati Radharani. And our sadhya, or goal of life, is to unite Radha with Krishna, isn't it? This is to achieve this state of consciousness, to help Radha and Krishna to meet. Yes, and because Srimati Radharani is primeval Shakti, is original Shakti. That means that all Shaktis, all potencies of Krishna emanate from her. And we know that Jiva is a Tatashta Shakti, one of the Shaktis. So Jivas are also emanations from Srimati Radharani. And by connecting other living entities to Krishna, we actually help Radha meet Krishna. So this can be also one of our meditation in life, that we are servants of the servants. Gopi Bhartuhu Padakamale or Dasa Dasana Dasa, as put by Lord Chaitanya. I am only the servant of the maintainer of the gopis, of Krishna. And Radharani has the similar attitude. She says that if some girl would please Krishna more than I do, I would immediately brought him towards Krishna. I would go to her and beg her, please go to Krishna. And I would serve her and try to please her in every way possible. This is non-envious nature of spiritual consciousness. Here, if two girls would be in love with one boy, they would try to scratch eyes from one another. Yes. So this should be. We should go deep in our spiritual life. Actually, we shouldn't stay on the surface. We have so much, so precious treasure from our acharyas, from Srila Prabhupada, in all these books, and he wrote these books just for our benefit. We should go deep in understanding what is our goal. We mentioned one of the anarthas is tattva vibrama. That means that we don't know the tattva, the truth, that we are bewildered about tattva. And one of these tattva vibramas is sadhana's sadhya vibrama, and also our position as sambandha gyan, that we are in ignorance or we know just superficially, theoretically, our sambandha and what is our sadhya. So we should know, of course, without theory we cannot go deep, but first we should know theoretically what is our sambandha with Krishna, who are we, and what is our relationship with Krishna, what is our relationship with Krishna's Shaktis, that means other living entities, and also other Shaktis, because Krishna is not just one personality, is unlimited personality, and he emanates unlimited Shaktis. So we should know this and know what is our goal. Because if we don't have our goal, in which direction we will go. So, if you don't know where to go, then what will you do? You will not move anywhere, or you'll move haphazardly somewhere without any proper direction. So we should study our books thoroughly, like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad-Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. They're very deep books, and not just that we tick, yes, I have read this. I have read all these books. No, you should know very deeply what's inside. It's for our benefit. Yes. So this is the goal we should strive for, to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the maintainer of the gopis. That means, especially we as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this is the gift received from Lord Chaitanya, to go and to become a servant of the maintainer of the gopis. That means practically Madhurya Rasa. Yes, so therefore these anarthas and aparats are extremely dangerous for achieving our goal. If we know that this is our goal, then we should be extremely careful, because this is not cheap goal. This is most elevated goal possible. This is the goal which is beyond the attainment of the Vaikuntha Vasis. So our goal is to go beyond the position of Vaikuntha Vasis, of those who are eternally living in Vaikuntha. Yes. And that doesn't mean that we are better than them, but we receive this gift from Lord Chaitanya, most precious gift. And it's given only once in a day of Brahma. That means 8,640,000,000 years. Can you imagine? And now it's just 500 years after Lord Chaitanya. That means that we are still in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, actually. So please don't waste the opportunity. This is the opportunity of your life, of your eternal life. Yes, don't miss this opportunity. So yes, therefore we should know all these different apparats. And we said that all different apparats easily go away by chanting the holy name, even once. So the holy name has unlimited power. But the problem becomes when we knowingly commit other offenses and we don't consider them very important, because we know the holy name eradicates all these offenses. Then becomes a nama parada. And nama parada you cannot rectify by any means, actually. And we should be aware of this, that there is no possibility to eradicate by our own endeavor, yes, by some process. So we should take refuge of the holy name and be sincere, of course. If we continue in this way, this is the most grievous offense. If we beg for forgiveness from the holy name and continue in the same offensive manner, it's the most grievous offense. Don't do it like this. So we know that there are 10 nama aparadas. And first aparad is to blaspheme the Vaishnavas. Yes. And we said that this envy is ingrained in one's heart extremely deeply, because everyone is envious in this world. We are in this world because of envy, because we want to be in the center, and we cannot tolerate that any other living entity is in the center. Therefore, there is conflict on every level of existence, actually. There is conflict between husband and a wife, between parent and a child, between a student and a teacher, between employer and employee. And even if you take a drop of blood from your body and look it under the microscope, you will see that there are civilizations in war. One blood particles against the intruders. Yes. So, yes, there is conflict on every level of existence. And there was one Christian saint who said that it's easier to live in the desert amongst the wild beasts than within the convent with my brothers. So we can know how difficult it is to be with other, especially people, because everyone has his or her own ego. And as we said, we want to put ourselves in the center. We are the most important, and our service is important, and whatever we do is important. Doesn't matter if we live in an ashram or we have a family. There will be conflict, or many possibilities that there will be conflict. Therefore, to avoid these conflicts, because conflict is the root cause of offense. Because there is conflict. First, what is conflict? Conflict means I'm the master and you should follow my order, basically. Isn't it? This is basically a conflict. I'm superior to you. I know better than you. Shri Shri Prahlad Nrsimha ki jai. This is conflict. I'm more important than you. My interest is more important than yours. This is conflict, isn't it? Is there any other conflict? No. There is no other conflict. Yes. Yes, this is conflict for him, maybe if he's not a devotee, because he wants to be in the center. But you should not. This is also offense to speak to non-devotees about these things. It's another offense. So to transcend these conflicts and envy, we should follow the etiquette. This is extremely important, to follow the etiquette. This is the Vedic system to avoid conflicts, to avoid offenses. Because if we commit offenses because we want to prove that we are right and the others are wrong, then we cannot advance spiritually. Not possible. There once Prabhupada was flying with the airplane with his servant, And that was, of course, in 70s or 60s even. And at that time, smoking was allowed on the airplanes. And the devotee, the servant, was very disturbed, and he wanted to complain that they should put out the cigarettes. And Prabhupada stopped him. No, you shouldn't disturb other people. Yes. You should be tolerant. You should be tolerant. Yes. So, we are not masters of anyone, actually. We are servants of anyone. And this is a fact. Krishna says, Mamaivam shod jivaloki jiva bhutak sanatana. That every living entity is his part and parcel. And since we are jivara swarupa hoy Krishna nitya das, we are always the servant of Krishna. And since every living entity is Krishna's particle, so we are servants of every living entity. We should have this mentality. But of course, this doesn't mean that we should serve the crazy living entities who are diseased in this material world according to their whims. Doctor or physician doesn't serve the patient according to the patient whims. If the patient is crazy, for example. But he serves the patient that he would, in the way that the patient would be cured as soon as possible, isn't it? Yes. So, although this treatment may not be pleasing to this patient, isn't it? So, in the same way, a devotee should serve every living entity with this consciousness. I try to help this living entity, not according to his crazy whims or desires, but according to that I can help him to be cured as soon as possible. Yes. So this should be our aim. And in Vaishnava association, it's extremely important, this consciousness that I'm the servant. I'm your servant. I call everyone as Prabhu or Mataji. And this is extremely respectful. Prabhu is name for the Lord, Nityananda Prabhu. Once I was in India and I forgot to take the lighter out of my hand luggage. And they took it away and threw it away. And I was attached to this lighter because I used it for Krishna's service. And I was trying to explain this to these people in the airport in India. Prabhu, please allow me to take this. And he was ashamed, actually, because he knew what Prabhu means. He was ashamed. He said, Prabhu is only the Lord. Yes, but many times we use this word Prabhu very easily. Yes. Prabhu, bring me my shoes. Yes. Prabhu, get out of my way. Yes. This is not the meaning of Prabhu. Prabhu means you are my master and I am your servant. Yes. This should be our attitude. Regardless what is our position. Even if you are Jagat Guru. For example, Prabhupada was Jagat Guru. Guru of the whole universe, we can say. But still, when he was asked, so you are this great teacher, he was very ashamed. And he said, no, I'm the servant of everyone. And he said, for the service purpose, you can step on my head. He said to one disciple. Because, I don't know, he had to put something on the wall or something, and he didn't know where to step. Prabhupada said, for the service purpose, you can step on my head, no problem. Yes. So, we should have this attitude. I'm the servant of everyone, of every living entity, what to speak of the devotees. So, there are different kinds of offenses against devotees. And the most grievous offense, what is the most grievous offense against the devotees? Okay, this. Sorry?
With the body, like physical offense?
Physical offense, okay. Is there any other idea? Yes. Blasphemy. Everything is very good, but it's not the most grievous. Shall I? The most grievous offense is to kill a devotee. Is to kill a devotee. Yes. And then next offense is to blaspheme, as you said. Is to blaspheme the devotees. Blaspheme means to heavily criticize. Heavily criticize someone. And this is done exclusively because of envy. Why we would blaspheme anyone? That means that we are extremely envious. And what is envy, actually? As we already said this, that we want to be the Lord, actually. We want to be the Lord. And we try to prove everyone that this person is not qualified to be my competitor for the position of the Lord. Yes. And therefore we blaspheme and tell everyone, look, how low class is this person. Once I've heard a very interesting statement that no one knows so many bad things about me as myself. And it's true, isn't it? But no one has so good opinion about me as myself. Hare Krishna. Yes. So we shouldn't blaspheme others. Although we may know something bad about others, but we also know many bad things about ourselves. And we don't go around and blaspheme ourselves. I have never met anyone who would go around and blaspheme himself. So the next offense is to be envious. Envious. To express envy and hatred towards devotees. So this expression of envy is less harmful than blaspheming to everyone, because envy is your own concern, actually, and feelings of hatred. This is a feeling. Of course, it's very bad feeling, actually. It's against love. Hatred is something that is opposite of love. But it's not expressed. Until it's not expressed, when it is expressed, it becomes blasphemous. But we know. And we are also not, in Kali Yuga, we are not responsible for our feelings and thoughts. In fact, we are responsible, but we don't receive reactions because of this, because we are too weak to control our feelings, or to control the appearance of the feeling, we can say like this. But when we perceive that some feeling appears in our heart, we should be extremely careful to avoid it, to rectify it if it is against our interest. That means if it's hatred or envy. This is extremely, extremely destructive feeling in our heart, and will definitely put block in our devotional service. And there are many instances of Vaishnava parats which had terrible consequences. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are quite a few instances of Vaishnava parats. Because Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, he was considered in general society as outcast, especially by smarta brahmanas, because they had this feeling, I'm better, so I should be put in a superior position. And this low-class person, now he's intruder, and he wants to be considered as a saint. And foolish people are worshipping him. Instead of worshipping me, they worship they worship him. Yes. And this is envious nature. And so Haridas Thakur was well received by many simple people. They were really considered him a saint, and they were offering obeisance and prayers to him, even, and so on. And there was one envious smarta brahmana. His name was Ramachandra Khan, and he couldn't tolerate that Haridas Thakur is so glorified. So he sent a prostitute to seduce Haridas Thakur. And we know from Shastra, this is the usual way to for sages to fall down. Some heavenly damsel comes just by thinking of her ankle bells. Completely disturbs the meditation of great yogis. Yes. There was one personality who was not restricted like this in Shastra. And do you know which personality was this? Yes, before Haridas Thakur from Shastra. Lord Shiva became angry, and this is also disturbance, and he burned Kamadev with his eyes. Yes. Yes, Narayan Rishi. Yes. Lord Indra thought, because these envious persons, they tend to think that if someone performs something very well, he wants to occupy my position, if we are superior. And if someone is very good, we become envious. No, he wants to take my position. I have to spoil his purpose. So Indra sent the most beautiful Gandharva girls to disturb Narayan Rishi. And then Narayan Rishi created thousands of girls. Much more beautiful than these Gandharvikas were. And then he said, you can choose one, the most beautiful one, and take her to Indra as my gift. And they took Urvashi, who was most beautiful girl. It was celestial girl born from the Lord himself, actually. So this prostitute was in prime of her youth, very beautiful, extremely beautiful, and came to Haridas Thakur when the dusk was there, and said to him, "You're so young, so beautiful, young boy." And I really would like to spend time with you. And she expressed different bodily postures, very attractive. But Haridas Thakur said to her, "No problem, I will satisfy your desire. But first I have to finish my rounds." And he chanted and chanted and chanted, and the morning came and he still chanted. And then this prostitute realized it's a day break, so she went away. And next day, and she reported to this Ramachandra Khan what happened. And next day she came, and the same thing repeated. So he was chanting and chanting and promising that he will satisfy her desires. And when she was hearing, she was waiting, of course, because she was paid for this purpose. And she was chanting along with him. Yes, because otherwise she didn't have anything to do. So she chanted along with him. And then when the morning came, she went home, back. And then third night she came. And then when the night was getting over, she was transformed. And she fell at the feet of Haridas Thakur and begged him forgiveness and explained that Ramachandra Khan hired her for his fall down, and he said, "Yes, I knew for this conspiracy from the very beginning, and I would leave immediately, but I stayed just to deliver you." Yes. So this is also this Jivadaya, to be merciful towards other living entities. Vaishnava is Jivadaya. He didn't blaspheme, not even Ramachandra Khan. He said, "Yes, I know he's foolish, but I'm not angry at him because he's just a fool." Yes. And then what happened? Once Nityananda Prabhu came to his Durga Mandapa, and Ramachandra Khan said to him, "You should go to somewhere which is more spacey for you. It's not enough space here." And Nityananda was very angry at him and said, "Yes, I should leave this place immediately. This is place for killing cows." Although he was Brahmana, was vegetarian. And then, because he was some kind of tax collector, this Ramachandra Khan, and he didn't present all the taxes to the king. Some other authority came, Muslim, and really destroyed everything in his home, And in this Durga Mandapa, he killed a cow, as Lord Nityananda predicted, and ate it there. And he was severely punished by the government, and everything was taken away from him. This was the consequence of his offense. And there was one other offense to Haridas Thakur also by Gopal Chakravarti, because Haridas Thakur explained he was invited by the community of highly learned people to some gathering, and they glorified the holy name because they knew that Haridas Thakur is Namacharya actually. And they glorified how holy name can liberate one from all miseries and taking a spiritual platform and so on. But Haridas then said, this is just a side effect of chanting of the holy name. The real effect of the holy name, and it not just side effect of the holy name, it's a side effect of namabhas, what is not even the holy name. Yes. The real effect of the holy name is to give pure love of God. And these side effects as liberation and so on can be achieved without any endeavor with the holy name. And then this Gopal Chakravarti, who is Mayavadi actually, became extremely disturbed. How can you say that this is just side effect of namabhas? And he said, if what you speak is not truth, is not true, I will cut your nose off, he said to Haridas. And then these people in the assembly became extremely disturbed and threw him out, and also deprived him of his position and so on. But later on, very quickly, although he was very young and handsome, he got leprosy, and his nose melted off. And not just his nose, but his beautiful long fingers also melted away because of this offense. And Gopal Chapal, who offended Srivas Thakur, he also contracted leprosy. And when Lord Chaitanya came, he took shelter of Lord Chaitanya. Please help me. I'm suffering terribly, terribly suffering. I'm completely surrendered to you. Please save me, my Lord. And he said, the Lord Chaitanya said, this is just the beginning of your suffering. You will suffer life after life for thousands of lifetimes because you offended Srivas Thakur. And Srivas Thakur was not even offended. He didn't take offense. But mentality is important. The consciousness is important. Consciousness in every aspect of devotional service is extremely important. Yes. So he had to seek shelter of Srivas Thakur, whom he offended. And because Srivas Thakur was, of course, immediately satisfied with his apology, then Lord Chaitanya also showed mercy to him, but not before. So, if we offend devotees, we should beg forgiveness. We should cry for forgiveness. We shouldn't think, yes, it was good that I told him what he needed to hear, or something like this. we should beg forgiveness if we offend someone. If we feel that we have offended anyone, we should beg forgiveness. And really repent, not just say, I'm sorry, Prabhu. Really repent. Yes. Otherwise, we'll definitely suffer. When Jaga and Madai were delivered by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, Lord accepted them. And then he danced and with Jaga and Madai. And suddenly, Lord Chaitanya became black. And he asked Advaita Acharya, how do I look like? And he said, you look like just Shyamasundar. And then Lord said, Kirtan, Kirtan. And then all this blackness went away from his body. And these were the sins, this black complexion were the sins of Jaga and Madai. Shri Prahlad Singha ki jai. And then he said that all these sins of Jaga and Madai will go to the person who offends a Vaishnava. So, we should take this seriously. We shouldn't take Vaishnava Parat lightly. Yes. Therefore, we should know the etiquette and follow the etiquette. Etiquette is there for our benefit. It's not there to be troublesome for us. That someone would have a sadistic nature, and I have to create something that would be troublesome for people. Yes. No. This is with one sole purpose, to help us advance spiritually, to follow Vaishnava etiquette. It's extremely important. And to avoid especially nama aparadas. And amongst those aparadas, Vaishnava aparada is very, very severe. Very severe. Because they are dear to the Lord. Vaishnavas are dear to the Lord. Extremely dear to the Lord. And we also know the story of Durvasa Muni, who, because of envy actually, wanted to kill Maharaj Ambarish for one small amount of water drinking. Can you imagine? The king drank just a little bit of water to break a Ekadashi fast. And Durvasa was so angry because of this, so envious, so hateful, that he wanted to kill him because of this little amount of water. Can you imagine? He created a fiery demon. Yes. And then Lord protected Maharaj Ambarish. Maharaj Ambarish didn't protest or try to protect himself. In the same way as Prahlad Maharaj, he also didn't try to protect himself. Yes. We should also have this mentality. And this is very good spiritual practice. If you want the recipe for very good spiritual practice, here it is. Don't defend yourself. It's very hard, but never defend. Yes. Then it's very hard for you for the full ego. You can try, but it's very good for our advancement. if we take it in a humble mood, not that in our heart we are burning with envy and hatred. But we should take it as a mercy of Krishna. Yes. If you want to advance, take this practice, not to defend. Because we are accused many times for this. Why didn't you switch off the light? Someone else was there. Don't make excuses. Someone else was using this light. Or whatever. Why didn't you wipe the floor? Because someone else was eating at the time when I was leaving. Yes. We shouldn't defend ourselves. This sleeping, eating, mating, and defending, this is extremely deep-rooted bodily reactions, actually. Bodily reactions. But we should go beyond these bodily reactions. Yes. But not just for our elevation, but for to recognize Krishna's mercy in our life. Not that we practice this, that yes, now we'll be very strong spiritually. This is also false ego. But I should practice this, yes, this is how Krishna is teaching me to become humble. Yes. And it's his special mercy. Yes. So please, Krishna, help me that I can really serve you properly. Yes, we devoted so much time to Vaishnava Aparat because it's so important. And we have just mentioned 3 of the 6 Vaishnava Aparadas. The next one, we will go through this Vaishnava Aparadas at least, to blaspheme Vaishnava. Next one is not to glorify a devotee. After envy comes this, not to glorify a devotee. So we should glorify devotee. This is with other words, that we should glorify devotees. Yes. Hare Krishna. We should glorify devotees. We should know that devotees, every devotee is extremely special personality. Of course, we shouldn't consider ourselves as very special, but devotees, we should know. Manushyanam sahasrarshu kaschit yatiti sidaye yatatam api sidanam kaschinam veti tattvada, says Krishna in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Amongst thousands and thousands of people, maybe, not necessarily, maybe one is interested in attaining higher understanding, perfection. And amongst those who have attained perfection, hardly anyone knows me in truth. So the devotees are those who, amongst thousands and thousands of people. Germany is quite big country, at least for European standards, isn't it? And how many people are living in Germany? 80 million. And how many devotees are there? 200? 500? Are there so many? I don't know. In Berlin, which is the capital, is just a handful of devotees, actually. And in temple, majority of these devotees are Russian. Here there are more. Is there any more populated temple in Germany than Simhachalam? No. You see how rare it is? And even here, not everyone is a German devotee. There are also others. Yes. So it's extremely rare. Extremely rare. So if you blaspheme a devotee, that means that you're crazy. You blaspheme such special personality. And of course we should know that this process is the process of cleansing. So if you criticize, you are not clean, but when he's standing under the shower, it's craziness, isn't it? I'm taking shower because I'm not clean. I know that I'm not clean. Hare Krishna. So yes, we should worship and glorify the devotees. And then is to be angry at devotees. Angry at devotees. We should be angry with devotees. There are so many opportunities to be angry. Anger is also a type of envy, of expression that we are the Lord. We consider ourselves the Lord. So we shouldn't be angry. And the last one, the most mild offense, but still is offense, is what? No. Yes. Not being happy when seeing a devotee. So we should be happy to see a devotee. This is a very rare opportunity, as we just concluded. How many people in Germany are devotees? Amongst millions and millions, 80 millions. It's a lot of people, 80 million people. And maybe 200 devotees. Yes. So we should be happy when we see a devotee, because we live amongst devotees. We tend to take this very, very easy and not seriously. But devotees are extremely special personalities. So we should be very happy to see a devotee, even if we don't go along with them. Of course, we should know from Shastra that we should associate especially with those who are like-minded devotees. Because if we associate with those who are not like-minded, then we definitely will be tempted to criticize them. So we should not allow ourselves to be tempted in this way. So associate with those who are like-minded. Yes. And take inspiration from those who are advanced. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes. Is Jiva Goswami in Bhakti Sandarbha in Anucheda 265. Yes. Yes.
Did you get the lighter back at the airport?
Sorry?
Did you get the lighter back at the airport?
Lighter?
You were telling the story that this.
No, I didn't get lighter. They were adamant. Although I was addressing them as Prabhu. They were not too much impressed. I didn't get. But there is another story, which is happened at in the same day actually as this story with lighter. We were in India with my family, with my wife and 3 children. And my youngest daughter, at the time, she was 4 months old. Something like this. And she got malaria there. And my daughter. And mother, of course, my wife, she had to be with her all the time. And also some of the boys get sick at one time and the other at the next time. So it was quite intense, India. And then after a month and a half, then or something, we were there, like something like this. She really wanted to go home. She was fed up with India. And we were driving towards the airport with one really arrogant taxi driver from Vrindavan. And then this taxi driver, we were in a hurry actually, but he knew that we are in a hurry. He just nonchalantly stopped at one place and went to a restaurant. And he was eating there, and the time was passing. And the time was passing, and we were really upset. We reached the airport on time. And then we were driving further on, and then a policeman stopped us. And it turned out that this taxi driver didn't have a license. And of course, the policeman didn't allow him to drive further. And then my wife flipped out completely. He started to shout to this policeman. She said, I have enough of this India. Let me go home. I want to go home. And he really shouted to this policeman with feminine energy. And then this policeman was just take it calm, Mataji. And then he allowed this taxi driver to drive. And then this taxi driver became extremely humble. Yes. So we should be humble even if we don't have such experience. Yes. He was saved by her energy, actually. No man could achieve something like this. Yes. So, yes, we should be careful about Vaishnava Aparat, especially. Okay. Is there any other points or comments? Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srimad-Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Please accept my humble obeisance.